Joining me now for more from Taipei is Ross Feingold. He is the head of business development at SafePro Group, a global security and evacuation services firm. Thank you for joining us on the program. Now, the International Olympic Committee has been criticized for being, for the most part, quiet on the matter of Peng Shuai. And this incident has led to arguments that China shouldn't be hosting the Winter Olympics because of its human rights record. We've seen boycotts like this happen before. Do you think it will happen now?
It's unlikely that there's going to be a large number of athletes who boycott the Olympics. So the Olympics are going to take place. Whether some national Olympic federations decide to pull out, it's still possible, but at this late date, with the Olympics so close, it seems increasingly unlikely. And then, of course, we have the example of the United States, where at some level, the government has influence, of course, on the Olympic Federation or the athletes, but it does operate separately. So the U.S. model is a bit different because it's not directly under government control. So the likelihood of athletes not going is small. Still possible some might pull out. That's why a lot of parliamentarians and non-government organizations have focused on either a corporate boycott, but also that one seems very unlikely at this late stage, that major global corporations are going to pull their sponsorship, whether it's for advertising at the venues or for broadcasting the events. And then there's the other possibility, as was discussed in the report, which is this diplomatic boycott. And that seems increasingly likely, that most countries, especially Western countries, are not going to send their national leaders or ministerial levels officials to join their delegations.
If that does happen, how do you think China would respond?
Well, we've seen a little bit of China trying to get ahead of that issue recently, where they're going to take the attitude that, well, we didn't invite you anyway, and or we don't care. So we don't care if the president or the prime minister of fill in the blank accompanies their delegation. They're going to take the view, or their state media commentators online in China are going to take the view that this was about the athletes. It's never really meant to be about which president or prime minister from another country attends the event. Now, of course, the attendance of presidents and prime ministers, it's something that typically occurs, and it's important usually to the host country to have these other leaders come and say, you're doing a great job, and we're so happy to be here for this very special event. So there's certainly a bit of a loss of prestige if other global leaders do not attend. But ultimately, we should keep in mind that even if the Western leaders don't attend, there's still going to be some leaders from countries that maintain better relations with China that will attend. So it's not going to be a total loss from that perspective for China.
Do you think Peng Shuai is being forced to make appearances here and there and say she's okay to the media to make it seem like everything's okay?
It certainly seems that way, but we won't know until she really does have true freedom of communication and movement, which will likely happen when and if she gets a chance to leave China and can tell the world exactly what's transpired over recent days. This is a model that China has used before with people who have run afoul from the government. It's not the first time; it won't be the last time. Very often, though, that when these individuals leave, if they're still going to maintain a relationship with China, whether for commercial reasons or other reasons, they're not necessarily going to come overseas and be forthright about what transpired anyway. So there's still obviously a lot of unknowns with her specific situation. And again, we'll just have to wait and see until she actually does get a chance to speak freely to the media and what she does say at that point in time.
All right, Ross Feingold, thank you so much for joining us here on TRT World at the NewsHour.